Hey everybody, welcome back to ChortleCast. I'm one of your hosts, Jake. Alongside me, Steven, the Stream King, the Star Wars big boy, the Far Cry guy, the man who makes me think he's going to have a Let's Play live stream series together, but then he comes up with a better one that he wants to do, and now it's going to happen, and now I'm here. Steven, take it away.
That's my favorite one. That's my
the new one, the last one. Is that the official one now? We're gonna make that a thing.
That is the official. Like whenever I am introduced, whether it is
on every like, lower third ever done. That's what Steven's voice.
Yes,
name is.
It's gonna be like a full paragraph, and it's
business
it's
cards,
gonna become
the whole nine.
It's gonna become a 2/3, not a lower third at that point. But yeah.
There you go. I like that. A 2/3. Hey, all right. If you didn't know, this is ChortleCast, where we talk about TV shows, video games, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. We film this podcast every Thursday, and it goes live for you lovely folks at 12 o'clock Central Time on podcast services such as iTunes and on YouTube, chortlegames.com. And you can watch it, like I said, 12 o'clock Central Time. We want you to be a part of the show, so you can email us at chortlecast@gmail.com and write in with news stories you heard about this week that you want to hear us talk about, and any questions you may have that you want us to answer. You can also hit us up on Facebook at Chortle Games, on Twitter at Chortle Games, and if you're on our Discord, you can also submit questions and topics there for the podcast. So thank you for watching.
We also accept memes.
On
Discord.
Wild Stowe, one of our subs, he's a big meme. He's the meme king over there on
the meme
Discord.
King, yeah.
He's got all the memes. So, anywho, we got a great show for you this week. It's been kind of a slow, summer, kind of a little bit of action here and there, but this week is really good. We got some hot news from Destiny 2. We got some hot news from Smash Brothers, and we got some hot news from Red Dead Redemption 2, aka Game of the Year. So, calling that right now, gonna be Game of the Year. I can't.
That's the smart man's money.
I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. I think it was on a live stream recently. Somebody was like, "So, what are y'all's like Game of the Years right now?" And I was just like, "You know what? I mean, I guess Spider-Man will be a contender. I guess God of War is definitely a contender." And then I was like, Red Dead might be a contender. After today's gameplay trailer that we're going to talk about here in a minute, I was like, "Yeah, no, that's Game of the Year, 100%." Like,
I remember that conversation.
Yeah,
that was at my engagement party.
Was it? You're right. You're right. We were talking to Eric, old Eric back there. Yep.
Because I was like, Detroit Become Human. It's not going to win Game of the Year,
but it might be.
But it needs to be in the conversation.
Right, it needs to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, man, we got a lot to cover here. So, let's go into Destiny 2. So we'll just before we do that, we always do catch up at the beginning of the show where we talk about what we've been playing. Yeah. I haven't gotten to play anything new this week. So, Steven, have you gotten anything new you've tried?
So I'm not here for catch-up to talk about what I have been playing.
Oh, snap.
But I'm here to talk about how I'm in a weird spot where I thought August was going to be the calm before the storm.
Right.
And then a few days ago and then today, it's like, oh, shoot, I'm about to drop like $100 on video games in the next week.
I love video
games. Here we go. So, Divinity Original Sin 2, Definitive Edition. I have been waiting to play Divinity Original Sin 2 till the console port came out because none of my friends are on PC. So if I'm going to play it as it's intended to play, I'm going to my friends on console. So I've been waiting for that to come out, and they announced today, I think. It was either today or yesterday. Well, I guess Thursday or Wednesday, since you guys are listening
on Friday. 12 o'clock Central Time.
12 o'clock Central Time. Nice plug, shameless plug. They announced that if you pre-order the game now, you can play through Act 1, which is apparently 20-plus hours of content.
Jeez.
You can just play through that and then continue where you left off when the full game releases.
So that's like pre-ordering it now. You can play the first story, the first part.
Yeah, it's basically getting a third of the game, probably, just for pre-ordering it before it even comes out.
Interesting. That's really cool.
It's a pretty sweet deal, because I knew I was going to get it.
Right.
So now it's like, buying that tonight. So by the time this airs, I'm probably going to have played the game.
Just to insert, because you're talking about, you're about joking that you're about to drop $100. Something I don't know if I like or not about how the PSN, the PlayStation Network, works when you pre-order things is when you pre-order something on the PSN, it charges your credit card right there. and that's a done deal. You have bought this thing. Amazon, you pre-order something, it doesn't charge your card until it ships. And that's great, because if you get down the line, you think, I'm not going to have time to play this, I'll wait till a discount comes out, and you cancel that pre-order, that's great. But if you do everything digitally early on, you don't have that option. And once you buy it, it's there.
That is why I buy physical copies more often than not.
I was a physical person until until we really got deep into this channel, because now you need something, so I just let you log in as me on your system, and you can play what I've downloaded. But it's not the same if I had a physical copy. So that's why I've switched. But it's just a fun little fact. What else are you pre-ordering or getting?
I heard about you Brody and Miles might remember a certain text that I sent you guys last week that was, paraphrasing here, a link, and then, oh my God, why have you guys not told me about this game? Why am I just now hearing about this?
I like how you expected us to know about this game, because we are not in this realm at all.
You keep your ear closer to the ground with stuff like IGN than I do.
I do, but
specifically IGN.
I still haven't heard anything about this game that you're about to talk about. But go ahead.
So there's this game coming out called Phantom Doctrine, and it comes out. It's Tuesday, pulled up on my other computer. Tuesday, August 14th.
Yeah.
I believe that is Tuesday.
Yeah, that's.
Let me click my calendar.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday. Cool. This game, I saw it because I opened up Facebook, and I got an article from a page I don't even follow that was like, Phantom Doctrine is XCOM with secret agents. And so I was like, okay, I'll click this article. Because it said XCOM. You got me.
You pulled me in.
You had the magic word.
I'm hooked. I'm ready to read.
So I clicked it, and I watched the trailer, and it was in 3 minutes, everything you need to know about Phantom Doctrine.
Right.
And oh my God, Jake, this game looks awesome, because it's like XCOM, to where it's the turn-based tactical, and then you've got the strategic layer and the base building. But it's, instead of aliens, it's like Cold War secret agents. And so you can do combat, you can go loud, or you can go completely stealth. You can have agents to where you've got like, and this is based on what I've seen, I haven't played the game yet, of course, but you can like send, let's say, one agent to do the legwork, and then you've got another agent set at a sniper position, one agent set at your getaway, and so it's like doing these methodically thought out missions. It's kind of like Mission Impossible meets XCOM.
Right.
And my question waiting for this was, is there character customization?
Let me ask Steven, is there character customization in this game?
Apparently, Jake, I'll tell you. Apparently, Jake.
Tell me, Steven. Tell me. Put it in my ear, baby.
Apparently,
let me know.
You can customize characters, appearance, name, all that stuff, whenever they need a new identity. So, let's say Jake is doing a mission.
Agent Chortle Jake.
Agent Chortle Jake.
Chortle Jake.
Okay.
I've been waiting for I didn't know I was waiting for an opportunity to do that, but now I'm glad I have.
I'm glad I could deliver.
So I have.
So Agent Chortle Jake gets his cover blown. He gets out alive.
Oh shoot! They caught me.
They caught him, but they're like, hey, we've seen this guy. We need to look out for him next time. So Jake gets back to base, and he's like, I need a new identity. And so then you add some sunglasses, maybe a fedora or a baseball cap or something.
No, fedora, definitely.
Yes, and then you change
Jake.
his name to what is it? Jerk Shakeless is your stripper name.
That's my stripper name.
I'm going undercover. And then it's the same agent, but you've changed him to where he's
Jerk
different,
yeah.
You know? And so it's still got the same skills and such of agents, and like some skills may include maybe hacking, marksmanship, or knowing different languages.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can have agents that are translators and stuff like that. So by the sound of it, I'm doing the thing that I did with XCOM Enemy Unknown back in, I think, 2012 when that came out. I'm looking up as little information as possible. I am going to buy it on Tuesday for the PlayStation.
And you're going to play it.
And I'm going to play it. I'm either going to love it or I'm going to hate it. We'll see. If you see a live stream that says Phantom Doctrine Secret Agents XCOM, then that means I liked it. And good luck, you're going to be seeing a lot of it if I end up streaming this game.
So there is a potential. So if you've been following us, you know on Thursdays Steven does a live stream series. The first one that we ever did was XCOM. Viewers
XCOM
and subs were able to submit their name, pick a class, and basically Steven would create a character for them in the game, and we got to see how that all came out. So we eventually had a finale in the last mission. It was very dramatic. It was very tense. There were people that were very close to dying. Some people had some shining moments. Anyway, it was a great series. We loved it. And so we've been in this lull trying to move into the next series. Originally, we were going to do State of Decay, and then complication upon complication happened. And it's been almost a running joke at this point that, oh, it's coming next Thursday, and then it not happen. So he's been playing Far Cry 3 and some other things as filler for that section. So anyway, Steven was telling me about this game, and I was like, Steven, this sounds like the ultimate, next step for our Thursdays
next
XCOM stuff. Yeah. So there's a good chance that this will be the Thursday live stream series that starts again. However, if you're watching this, you've already seen Steven play State of Decay, so let us know if you liked that.
Probably.
He's gonna record it after this podcast. So
I say that just because State of Decay has been such a pain in the butt to get working that I'm not gonna say, hey, I streamed State of Decay until the video is up, you guys can hear me, and we're interacting, and I am playing the game. Then I'll say, hey, we're in State of Decay.
Last podcast I said if you don't play State of Decay, I was going to eat my foot or something like that. So
you did.
I'm not looking forward to that part of this deal. But at this point, it's just a running joke. It's what was the person you were saying last night that this is our.
So Saturday Night Live. I used to watch it all the time with Anna back when it was good. And Kenan Thompson did this skit called "What Up With That?" And if you have watched SNL ever, you're probably familiar with it. It's like a talk show where the entire talk show is just Kenan singing the song "What Up With That?" And Bill Hader has a character. It's Lindsey Buckingham. I think he's from Fleetwood Mac or something. He's a musician, and he's on every single skit of "What Up With That?" And Keenan's always like, "Oh, and our dear friend Lindsey Buckingham's here, and he's gonna talk about whatever." And every single time, Keenan's like, "Well, we're out of time," and "Oh, Lindsey, oh, you missed your daughter's birthday for this," something like that. And
that's great.
State of Decay is our Lindsey Buckingham.
So anyway. Yes. So hopefully this Thursday you got to see some State of Decay. Let us know if you like that. That may be a series we come back to, especially if Steven doesn't end up liking Phantom Doctrine. So
which is a strong possibility. Yeah. I've got a high bar for it right now, even though I'm going in blind.
Right. So anyway, let us know if you liked that, and we may continue it after, or it may be something that we jump into every now and then.
And what could end up happening is we could do Phantom Doctrine for now if it ends up being like, okay, hold the phone. I don't care about State of Decay right now. I'm playing this game. Love it. We've got to stream it. If that does happen, then we may take a hiatus from Phantom Doctrine during October when we're doing more scary games, and we may revisit State of Decay. Something like that. There's going to be some moving around in October because, as promised, I'm still going to have to play the entire Metro series in 1 month. Yep. So I'm going to be streaming a lot.
We're going to be doing a lot of stuff in October, so we'll talk more about that anyway. So, was there any other games you wanted to talk about that you're jumping into?
I'm looking over at my game. I don't think so. I'm really excited because I feel like I have whiplash right now of like, oh crap, I actually have these games to play.
Right.
Because I've been playing a little bit of Chasm. It's still fun, but it's not my speed exactly. I've been playing Mountain Blade. Vlad, one of our subs, recommended that, and I've played it on PC before, but I forgot how much I actually really enjoy that game. And we streamed it last week, and it was really fun. But other than that, I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs till Spider-Man or segue incoming. Destiny 2 Forsaken comes out.
Great segue. So this week, Bungie did a live stream talking about, they called it the combat live stream or something like that. Basically what they're talking about is shortening the time to kill, basically lowering that. So what they talked about was they talked about a lot of stuff, and we'll go into some of the things that I was. Have you gotten a chance to watch through any of that or read up on any of that, Stephen? We'll just talk through some of the things that kind of struck us that were really exciting. What they did is they started off and they actually talked about some things, but then they played a couple matches of Crucible, and they had the developers there, and they were pointing out things like, oh, hey, did you see how that happened? Now when you do this, whatever. So there's a lot of things like they just kind of sprinkled throughout, so this may be a little scatterbrained, and I apologize for that, but we'll kind of run through. Basically, what in a nutshell, basically they're trying to make you more powerful and where combat is easier or faster. A lot of what they showed in a Crucible match, and they talked about how it will affect Crucible, which is the PvP element of the game. Right. Steven and I both are not huge PvP players, so I personally was a little frustrated by that, because they would occasionally be like, and this will all affect PvE too, but we're not talking about that. And so like they just would kind of skip over some of that. So as a PvE player, I was a little frustrated, but they still talked about a lot of stuff. The number one thing I walked away from was I cannot freaking wait to play with a bow. It is so cool, very powerful. One of the guys that was playing, he had a bow and then he had a hand cannon. And basically, what they were talking about, a strategy you could do is run in with the bow, get a quick shot. If you can get a headshot, oh man, that's a great shot. But if you can even just get a body shot with the bow, that's going to do a ton of damage quickly. Then you pop out a hand cannon and finish them off. So they were talking about having the Lucky Pants, which allows you to pull a revolver quickly. Just be able to pop off quick and do stuff. But the bow combat looks great. They showed off a lot more of the supers, and you got to see some of them in action. They all look really, really fun. So one of the things is melee attacks will now kill a full health guardian in 2 hits. So you get 2 melees in, they're dead. No matter, at full health, full shields, boom, boom, dead. Titans who can do a shoulder charge move, that's 1-hit kill.
Nice. So that's Striker Titans specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the Hammer Titan can do a hammer smash if they do. I'm pretty sure they all have some sort of shoulder charge. But anyway, that'll kill a Guardian at full health. So Titans barging in is going to be very tense now. They have a shoulder charge, shield bash, and hammer strike is what their abilities are called.
See, I don't play Titan.
Those are all 1-hit kills now. The Golden Gun Hunters will have 2 additional seconds of active time with their super.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Night Stalker, it is good. When I have played Gunslinger, it's very tense, especially if you've just got one shot, because you want to make sure you actually hit what you're going to do. And if
so did they say
long,
that timer applied to both Way of Outlaw and Way of the Sharpshooter?
They did not specify, but they just said...
Because Outlaw is really short because you've got 6 shots, and if you're going to pop them off, you got to pop them off quick, if I remember correctly. But with Sharpshooter, you can be more methodical about it.
They may have specifically mentioned the 6-shot version, I think. But I don't know. Night Stalker Tethers, they basically just tuned up I forget what he called it, like the scanning matrix or whatever, that's helping it identify things. They basically quadrupled that percentage. So now there should be no one walking right through it without getting tethered and affected. Which apparently I haven't heard much about this. I don't play Night Stalker. Apparently people were shooting and people were just walking right through a tether and it not doing anything. So
that was probably mainly a Crucible problem because the tether detection has actually been pretty good in PvE because Night Stalker used to be my main.
Right.
But that is good to know that the Night Stalker is actually being paid attention to.
In PvE that's going to be great because I almost wonder if it's going to be a distance thing too. I don't think it will be, but basically if anything gets near, it's going to really
I hope it's
up.
A distance thing for the sake of the Pathfinder tree because the Pathfinder tree is the one I want to like.
Right.
But it just has perks that work against itself.
Right.
So,
let's see. There's a new perk for Night Stalkers called Flawless Execution, which will cause a hunter to turn invisible when they get a precision kill while crouching, which is kind of interesting. So if you're a sniper...
But is that for Night Stalker as a whole, or is that just the new tree? Did they say?
That is not specified here.
Okay.
And then also, new Spectral Blade Super will allow hunters to turn invisible and see players through walls. So they have a radar. So whenever you're using that Spectral Blade, you're invisible for a short amount of time, and then you can see through walls, which is cool.
Right.
And for PvE or PvP will be very effective.
Right.
Healing and empowering rifts have been buffed. Dawnblade Warlocks will be able to create healing grenades, which we already knew about, to grant overshields to themselves and their teammates. And then it says Storm Trance will also see a damage increase after the update. So this is going to be the Forsaken update. A lot of these are going to go into place then. Some of them, and I'm not sure which, they didn't necessarily specify. Some of them are going to go into effect on the 28th when they start to load in Forsaken into the software. One thing they talked about with healing grenades that I'm not entirely sure how this works, but they said something about when you throw a healing grenade, you'll be able to see it. Like you'll be able to, like, it's going to hit and then like pop up and heal. Yeah. I don't know if it's just like bam, you're healed, or if it's like almost going to make a mini rift that's healing.
It's a mini rift.
So people can shoot that and stop it.
Good.
So in PvP, if you see a group, they've got a little rift on them, you can shoot that grenade to stop the rift healing. So I didn't quite understand that, but that makes sense to you.
Yeah,
so.
It's a mini rift. It's not just a boom done. It's like a mini rift that shoots up your
heal you. Yeah.
But that's interesting. I'm glad they're doing that because anything to throw the balance towards it not being too OP, so they don't nerf it.
Right. Please balance it now crossed. Before you don't nerf it.
Right. Don't make me, like, don't put in my hands, like, the ability to do everything I want and then just be like, oh, nope, and take it away.
Sorry.
That is a quick way to get me out of this game again.
Steven was real salty last night. We were doing Escalation Protocol, and Steven got real salty about it. I haven't seen you that salty in a long time. It was. I was already.
There
were other things that were you were salty about, but yeah, that escalated it, if you will.
To be fair, I just hate time attack modes because then it's like, wow, this is really hard, but only because you're rushed to do things, and that's not natural difficulty to me. That's just an artificial thing to just be like, oh wow, isn't our game mode so hard because you only had 30 seconds to kill this boss that you should not be able to kill in 30 seconds?
So anyway, the big thing, and this is really, they spent a lot of time talking about this, is weapon slots. Weapon slots are going to act very different post Forsaken. So the weapon slots, and by the way, I'm looking at all this off of IGN. I don't think they had an official author for this note, but I'm pulling my info from there. I watched the stream too, so there's some notes I'm kind of throwing in here. But weapon slots are going to change. So you've got your 3 weapon slots, right? You've got kinetic, you've got energy, and you got power. So kinetic weapons don't have any elemental effect. They're just kinetic. I think of it as just normal guns. They're just bullets. Energy weapons have an elemental effect, so you're shooting fire rounds, void rounds, or arc rounds. And then power weapons are just super powerful, last minute, blow their faces off weapons. So there are still energy weapons, and there are still kinetic weapons, and there are still power weapons. However, now there's different ammo types, and that's how they're going to be separated. So special ammo is the green ammo that we already have. That's what energy ammo has been. That's now special ammo. It's going to be less frequent, and it's going to be more powerful. Normal ammo, which looks like the kinetic ammo right now, that will still be frequent, but will be less powerful. So your special weapons or your normal. It's all like a rank of specialty. It's very confusing. I don't like it. The white ammo is going to be weaker. The green ammo is going to be a little bit more powerful, and then the power ammo is obviously going to be the strongest still. So you can have 2 weapons that are green specialty weapons. However, one of them will be kinetic. So like it'll be green ammo that you're picking up for a kinetic slot weapon or for a kinetic weapon in general. But it takes special ammo. So your kinetic slot will hold, all of that, and then your energy slot will hold your your kinetic slot still holds your kinetic weapons, but there may be a green ammo type in there because it's a special. Your energy weapons will still hold energy weapons, but it may not have special ammo in there. The other fun thing is shotguns are no longer locked to power weapons. I think there are still power level shotguns, but there's also regular like specialty level 1 shotguns and 2 shotguns. So in the stream they had a guy running 3 shotguns, and they were talking about they were at first they were just like, he's just gonna be crazy, man. He's crazy. He's doing 3 shotguns, whatever. But he actually did fairly well in the match for just kind of goofing. And they were talking about, if you've got a team that you're kind of setting up what people are doing, a 3 shotgun guy could be a good strategy. And they were talking about like, if he was like the guy in a tight quarter that you were guarding, he could just hide and get into close combat and eliminate some people. So it was interesting. But anyway, basically, fusion rifles are no longer locked to power weapons. It's basically just rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and swords. There may be one other that's still locked. I don't think so. Let me just look.
I don't think so.
But those are the ones that are still locked to being power weapons. Everything else you can have. It's just going to depend on the ammo type that you have. So let me see. Let me look. They also talked a lot about mods. Mods now, instead of altering damage type or adding a flat boost to the level of the weapon, mods will allow players to customize their loadouts to better fit their playstyle. So you can now have things that improve better targeting, acquisition, improved accuracy while airborne, increased magazine size, increased damage against powerful enemies, and stuff like that. When you dismantle that weapon, you get the mod back. So that's nice. And the class ability regenerated from armor mods is also increased. So if you have, I know. So if you have an armor that's increasing your power-ups, it's gonna be boosted. So they talked a lot about masterwork. I didn't realize this, but apparently you can level up masterworked weapons up to 5 times. And I need to research a little bit into this because I think how it works, and I could be totally wrong, but I think how it works is once you have a weapon that's masterworked, you can go to that masterwork and you can just level it up by paying Glimmer, and sometimes it's going to take those masterwork cores.
I thought that right now it was like a reforged system.
When they were talking about this at the stream, I had never heard anything about it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But what they did in the stream was they had a weapon that was masterworked, and it was on level 1. And at first they paid Glimmer and Legendary Shards to upgrade it up to level 5. Apparently, right now, you can level masterwork weapons up to level 5. Now they've boosted it to 10. And so, yeah. So, anyway. They showed off a lot of great weapons and armor pieces. They didn't go... Some of them they went deep into what they're going to be able to do and how they're going to affect stuff. But they showed off the new exotic sword that can do the projectiles, and that was great. That was a lot of fun. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of exciting stuff. I'm so ready for bows. It's going to change how I play, but I am really excited to play with them. They just look so cool. Like, they had a hunter who had a sword, and he had his bow out, and I was just like, this is me. I want this right now. It was so good. But anyway, Steven, what did you have any further thoughts on that?
I'm just excited to actually be able to team up with you and not it be in their face all the time.
I mean, I can't promise that I'm not still going to be running up in their face, but I've gotten better. Last night we were doing Escalation Protocol, and I was pretty far out with my Skyburner's Oath, which I love that gun right now, by the way. I didn't realize the bullets tracked, and now that I do know that, it's a lot better for me. But anyway, I was sighting in and shooting things specifically, so I feel like I'm going to do that with my bow. And then just if I get closer, switch out to something that's a little faster. So I feel like I'm going to run a legendary bow, and I'm going to actually use it, and then I'll have an exotic that I can flip to once I'm tight and go in there. And then when I'm really in a pinch, pull up my sword and go to work. So, all right. The other big news story, Smash. This week, this Wednesday, there was a Smash Direct.
What's Smash, am I right?
What is that? Ultimate Smash Brothers, coming out in December 7th of this year. They had a Direct, talked about a lot of freaking stuff. I'm trying to pull up a list of all the things they talked about because it was just crazy. So,
I just watched it today.
Okay, so let's talk through it, and if we miss anything, I'll look back. So they start out with a cinematic, and it's this very dark castle, and I immediately was like, oh shit, Castlevania. They're bringing Castlevania in. I thought Dracula was who was going to be playable. I have never played a Castlevania game. So, although I am a huge fan of the Netflix series, though.
I thought it may have been Alucard.
Right.
But he ended up being...
Dracula's son, right? Who's a sister.
Dracula's son, yeah.
So anyway, they show this cinematic. It's real creepy, but then Luigi's in it. And it's Luigi. And I'm like, what is Luigi doing here? And then I'm like, I know this is Castlevania, but I don't know why Luigi is here. So basically, Luigi's walking around, and he's running into all these classic Castlevania monsters. And eventually, he comes up to this Grim Reaper type, and he gets straight up murdered on a live stream for Smash. His soul gets ripped out of his body. And then Simon Belmont pops in and fights that monster. And it's like Simon lashes out. So Simon Belmont, for the first time, a playable character in Smash.
A long-requested character, too.
Long-requested, but really exciting. He's got his chain. It's called his, what is it? It's like his Heavenly Whip or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a mace whip. Yeah, basically.
Very cool mace whip. He's got this nice cross that's like a boomerang that he can throw. He's a big buff dude. He almost looks like Conan to me.
Looked like He-Man or Conan.
Yeah, very, very He-Man-like. They mentioned something about he has a different look. And I don't know if that's just a 3D model of him had never been made or what that was about. But
I think it's just an updated look. Yeah.
And then Richard Belmont, is that the other guy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He is an Echo character. Obviously, Echo characters are based on a main character, but they have different attributes. Or in some cases play a little bit differently, and then in most cases look very different. So anyway, both of them are playable characters. We're going to be at Dracula's castle. That's going to be a map. And that
map looks super cool.
Oh, it looks so fun. So classic monsters will jump in at random times, and they're the hazards of the level, if you will. They're going to be attacking and doing different things. A really interesting thing, though, that they mentioned here and will continue throughout the Direct, they mentioned that Dracula will randomly show up on the map, and you'll have to fight him like a boss.
They mentioned bosses.
Bosses are mentioned multiple times. A lot throughout. Well, I say a lot, more like 2 or 3 times. But that's a lot for one Direct. Like, it'd be one thing if we were piecing this together over several, but this is in one Direct. They mention it 3 times. So, anyway, we'll get there. But and then what's the name? Dracula's son.
Alucard.
Alucard. He's an assist trophy, which is kind of sad. I hate that. But he would have been a fun character, but. He's not a main character necessarily, so it worked out.
Right.
It makes sense. But he looks really cool because he's one of those that's gonna walk around and fight and do stuff. He's not just like a one.
Assist trophies are really cool in this game because they're like summons.
Yeah.
Instead of just like one and dones.
Yeah, they think and fight and do stuff. I have always played Smash without items on, just straight across, no items. So a lot of the items they're talking about, I've kind of glazed over or just been like really surprised by because I've literally never played with them. See,
I am the opposite. I always have items on with a few of them disabled, like that BS fan that can get you locked in a permanent. But I prefer items on because it adds more of a difficulty layer to the match and more of a randomness.
I don't know. I feel like when I have items on, I feel like I can grab whatever comes at me, throw it at my guy, pick up the next one, throw it at the enemy, and I can just keep throwing items, and suddenly they're dead, and it's like, yeah, I won just because I grabbed the most items. So anyway, but we won't mellow on that. But they talked a lot about items. I'm trying to think in order here. So they announced the 2 characters. They talked about that level. They talked about a lot of levels that are returning. I can't even think of all of them. There's 103 levels
103
on this thing. They each have, what is it called?
The Omega.
What is the Omega version of the
so
map?
the Omega form of a map, my understanding, because I played the most recent one on 3DS,
right,
is that the Omega version is more of a like just flat stage for one-on-ones and stuff. So it's less of, platform here, and all that kind of stuff, and more of just flat area.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so like if you like the background of a Pikmin map, but you want it to be just a flat battleground, that's the Omega version of a Pikmin map.
Interesting, okay.
So there's once all Omegas and different variants are thrown into the mix, there's over 300.
Just freaking crazy. And there's got to be more. Like, he mentioned that there are a few more characters coming. And so I imagine with those few characters, there will at least be a few more levels that they announce with that. Plus, I don't know that we have, do we have all the past levels confirmed? I mean, I feel like we've hit the big ones at least, but I don't know that we have confirmed every stage is here,
That I don't know.
I don't know that either. I'm just throwing that out there.
I wouldn't be surprised either way, though, if they left a few out.
I imagine they're going to end up with all of them, but I don't know if we've already hit that point or if there are still some more to be announced. But anyway, they talked a lot about game modes. And I'm not going to remember any of their names, but there was a game mode one of the ones I really liked was each player can pick 5 characters, and when you die with one, you come back as the next one. And so it's like having stocks, but you change characters each time. There was another great, I'm not sure if it was a tournament mode or if it was just how it worked, but I think it was a tournament mode where you once a character's been used, it can't be used again.
Yep.
That was awesome. I really look forward to doing, maybe on our 24-hour stream or something, doing some stuff with that, where we play through the whole list of characters and see who doesn't use. And it was really interesting because they were like, a strategy is, if your opponent is really good with Lucario, you could pick Lucario first so that in the last fight, they can't pick their best character. So it was really interesting. I mean, they mentioned a lot of your normal modes. They mentioned that stocks, like stock, which is how I've always played, can be set as the default instead of percent, which you were saying. You were saying stamina was what you.
So stamina was in Melee. It was in Brawl, I think. And it may have been in the most recent one. It wasn't on the 3DS, but stamina is where you actually have health. And so once you run out of health, you die.
Right.
And so they made it to where stamina is now an option you can add to stock. So rather than damage percentages going up, you can do health bars.
Interesting.
And I think that's really cool. It probably won't be the way I play more often than not, but I think the fact that we have that option.
There's a lot of options. They really. You'd have to look up all the stuff that he mentioned, but there is a lot of customization. Like they even, while we're on modes, I want to talk about. So obviously, there's the smash. Everybody gets a smash ball. You break the ball, you get your smash move. There's a mode or an addition where you can slowly build up to a smash, like as you're fighting meter, and you earn points to kind of slowly build up to a smash. I cannot wait to play that. That's what I'm going to want as a default, because I think that just makes so much more sense than fighting over a ball. But anyway, that's a thing. So the new maps, the new levels, or all the levels, they've got 1 million, like 800 tracks of music or something like that for this game.
800, yep.
Lots of music. And they talked about how your Switch can play that music when it's asleep, and you can like put it in your purse or whatever and listen to it on the go. I'm probably going to do that on trips when I travel. Like I might just have that playing on a loop or something, which is awesome because, I mean, that's a lot of great music, and I love listening to video game music in my free time. So that'll be nice to have. But they also mentioned that you can select what tracks play on the stages. And he was talking about you can set one to be more frequent or less frequent. And basically, say I've got like an Ocarina of Time map stage, I can play Wind Waker music on there as long as it's that franchise, you know. So like I can't put Zelda music on the Splatoon stage, but I can put any, you know, cross-franchise music together. So that's really exciting. I mean, a lot of customization just throughout the whole thing. He showed us the menu. There's a mystery mode still that we haven't seen. He mentioned classic mode, and he mentioned that each fighter has their own set of people that they're going to fight, which is nice. That's very cool. I am really hoping that this mystery mode is story mode. And I forget what the other one that Brody was like.
Subspace Emissary.
That's it. What was that? I don't remember that at all.
Oh my gosh. On Brawl, the one for the Wii, that was the story mode where it had the cutscenes and everything.
Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for the same things, yeah.
So here's my thing. That's ideal for me. I think that would be the best thing to do. But Sakurai is still upset with how it was received last time because the cutscenes leaked and he never wanted to do it again after that happened. Which, to me, it's like, okay, but your game still sold. Everyone played it. Right. Just make it again. We'll all play it.
You know, I've heard some people asking and wondering, like, because this is turning into the ultimate Smash. I mean, truly, it is the ultimate Smash.
It's sounding more and more like it might be the last Smash because it's just doing literally everything.
So that's what a lot of people have talked about that. I don't think this is the last Smash that we'll ever get. It may be the last Smash that we ever get from Sakurai. And I kind of wonder if, in a lot of ways, this is his, here you go, I've done everything. Like, this is my martini, you know, like, this is my, you know, this is the pinnacle of my career right here. I'm doing everything I can in this series that I've built. Boom, done, drop the mic, I'm walking away.
That's my thing. I think it's Sakurai's curtain call for Smash because he's kind of been burnt out on Smash.
He's been ready to move on to something new. I don't think he worked on the last one. I could be wrong. I feel like there was one that he didn't work on.
He worked on the last one.
Was it Brawl that he didn't work on?
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like there was one that he was not completely in charge of. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think this is the last Smash. I think they will do another one. This is too much of a hype point for any console. It's like, what's their next Smash going to be?
It is the definitive system seller. It really is. You can't not have it anymore.
I do think this is going to be the new standard version, though. Like, Melee, for the longest time, has been like, that's what competitive people use. That's what whatever. I guess actually now it's Brawl. I think they moved up to Brawl. I think very much so they're going to drop to this one, and that this is going to be the standard.
I think so.
And I think this could be the standard for years to come. Like, even if we get another Smash and it's not directed by Sakurai, I very much think so that competitively they'll stick to this one, but I could be wrong. And then to move on, there may be some other detailed notes there that we're missing, but the next big there's some other Echo Fighters that we missed.
You're forgetting the most important part of the day.
Is it Chrom? Is that the most important part of the day?
Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening, the best blue hair pro tag from Fire Emblem, is finally playable.
Yeah, we don't have enough Fire Emblem characters in Smash.
Okay. He got completely shafted in the trailer for last time, the Robin and Lucina reveal trailer.
Right.
Because when they showed that at E3 back in 2014, it was like Chrom was dead on the ground. It was like, okay, I guess no Chrom. And now finally, we got him. He's here.
Our boy's seeing the light of day. And then Dark Samus was mentioned. Yep. That's a new Echo Fighter. Was there another Echo Fighter I'm forgetting? He announced 5, and Richard was an Echo, so there's 3 Echoes and then 2 big guys, right? That should be it.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yes.
So anyway, announced Dark Samus, Chrom, and then right at the end, the little bit at the end, we see some shots of like Mario and Bowser, and Kirby and King Dedede, and Samus and Ridley, and basically all these heroes that are in the game and their villain that are also in the game. And then it cuts to Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong kind of just cruising, hanging out in their tree hut. And then you hear this boom, boom, and walking up. So they look out the window. They're kind of like, they see King K. Rool, his silhouette, or so they think. And then he rips off the disguise, and it's King Dedede. And he's like, oh my God, I got you guys, whatever. And then he gets like sucker punched by King K. Rool. And then Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong freak out. Awesome reveal. Probably one of my favorite reveal trailers that we've had for a character so far. It was really funny. And what a villain like to bring into this. Like, I played Donkey Kong 64. Like, seeing his super is the laser that you always saw when you quit the game. I am so excited that he's in it. His fighting style looks great. He's like a wrestler. He like uses his stomach.
He is massive.
He uses his stomach to like reflect damage and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they didn't go like in depth to like what his abilities do, but they showed a lot of gameplay of him, so you could probably dissect it a little bit. But anyway, yeah, he looked awesome, and what a thing. I mean, people were hoping for it. People were pulling for it. I think that's great that he made it in. So I don't know what they're going to do next. A lot of people are wanting Geo, which I don't even really I'm being dumb. I don't know where that's from. I think it's from a Super Mario. Geo, have you heard of this? He's a guy that people are really wanting to come in to the next one. I've seen pictures of him, and I still don't recognize him. I personally am rooting for the champions from Breath of the Wild to be characters. I'll even settle for just one of them. Like Rivali was probably one of the favorites. He's the I forget what the people are named. One of the bird people. I forget what they're. Rudo. He's of the Rudo tribe. But anyway, I would hope they would put him in, and then maybe his smash would include the other champions. But I wish they would do like with Pokemon Trainer, where you can flip out between 3 Pokemon. I wish it would just be like the champions, and you could flip out between all 4 folks. But I don't know. That may be that's asking too much.
That's my thing is that like, and I said this to you guys over text, but I want more mechanically interesting fighters.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's I was a little bummed to see that Chrom fights like a Fire Emblem swordsman.
Right.
Because I agree, there are too many Fire Emblem swordsmen. Corrin is at least a little interesting. We didn't need Lucina. Make her a Marth costume.
Right.
Robin is really interesting. Robin's probably my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, give Chrom a unique fighting style, or make him differ in some way. I do like if they were going to make him an Echo Fighter, they did it the best way,
right?
Because he's a mixture.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to see is just like give us something more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I thought of the ideal Fire Emblem character to bring into Smash, it was having a character that's 2 people paired up, kind of like Ice Climbers.
Mm-hmm.
But because in Fire Emblem you can pair up soldiers to fight alongside each other. Just something like that to where it's like not just I am this character and I have this moveset. Because like it used to be when you played as Zelda, you had Zelda and Sheik, but now they're separate.
Right.
Same with Zero Suit Samus and Samus. Like I don't prefer the oversimplification of characters, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And then usually they've added a new Pokemon to each of the games. Like we got Lucario in, I want to say it was Brawl.
That was Brawl.
And then I guess we also got Greninja in Brawl too. Was it the next one?
Greninja was in Wii U.
Okay, yeah. So I'd love to see, I forget the name of it because I called him Robin Hood, and that's all I ever knew him as. But Rowlet's Final Evolution was really, really popular. It's the owl character that's got like the Robin Hood, and he shoots bow and arrows that are made of his feathers. He was a really popular character in the game. He made it into Pokemon or Pokken Tournament.
Pokken Tournament, yeah.
So I think it makes a lot of sense that if we were going to add a new Pokemon to play, he would be the one that we'd add. But I don't know that they're going to go that route. I don't know if they're going to do it. In fact, the more I think about it and seeing what they have added in, I wonder if they're going to lean more towards kind of completionist type mentality of what are some things that we should have had in this game from the beginning, like Simon and Richard, they should have been in it early on. What villains do we not have what heroes do we not have their villain parallel in here yet? Ridley, K. Rool. Right. I don't know that there are any other ones missing at this point. There may be one or two.
Yeah.
So
I think we're gonna see Shadow.
I think Shadow is definitely an Echo character.
Because if you look at the character poster, like when they started filling in the spots, I looked and saw that next to Sonic there was a spot where someone's going to stand. It's almost certain.
Right.
And we haven't seen Shadow as an assist trophy this time around. So either him or Proto Man from Mega Man would be cool.
Right. But, I don't know what else I don't know realistically what else we're looking at. I don't know who this Geo is, but people are...
How do you spell it?
Geon, I think. Geon, maybe. That's how you say it. I don't know realistically what else to expect, like realistically. But
Oh!
Who is it?
Gino?
Gino. That's how you say it.
He's from RPG. Mario RPG.
That's why I don't know it. I've always wanted to play Mario RPG, but I have not had the opportunity.
He's been heavily requested for a while.
So it's possible he'll come through. I think there's actually probably a strong chance he'll make it in. Shadow has a strong chance. Honestly, at this point, I don't know how many more to expect because Sakurai from the get-go said, everybody's here, so don't expect a lot of new stuff. But then after that was at E3, then we get 5 new characters, including Echo characters, here in this Direct. And he said there's still more to come. So
I think it might round out at 80.
See, I feel like he'd have to get to a round number, right? Especially if this is like here's my signature, I'm done, drop the mic, I'm walking away. Yeah. I would want to end on an even number,
I think it'll be between 3 and 5 more.
So what, we're at 73 right now?
75.
75? Something like that. So so 5 or 6 more characters coming down the road. Wow. I'm optimistic though. And Weird. I guarantee, and I'm pretty sure 3 of those will be Echo Fighters, which I'm not complaining about, but I'm pretty sure realistically that's what we're looking at. I'd love for a new Pokemon. I really would. I think that's always been a thing they do, and the Pokemon fighters are usually pretty interesting. So I'd like to see what they do there. But man, this game, talk about the ultimate smash. It is going to be the ultimate smash. And if they add the story mode or the the cinematics, Subspace Emissary, that to me it is now the ultimate smash. There's literally nothing else they could have put in to make it any better. But anyway, we'll move on. Just day after day, big news, big gaming stuff. So Red Dead Redemption.
Yep.
Got a gameplay trailer. It was like 6 minutes long. It was so good. I was watching it live, and I was dying. So I want to ask Stephen, before we dive deep into what they showed, what did you think of like how they did that? Did you think it was kind of weird?
The way they did the gameplay trailer?
The gameplay trailer, how the gameplay trailer itself was presented.
So like with the snippets of gameplay with the narrator?
Yeah, with the.
That's what Rockstar normally does.
Is it? Okay. Because see, it seemed more to me like a sales pitch of like we're sitting in a boardroom meeting. We've got this nice, very, very, very professional sounding narrator who's like taking us through the game and talking about the importance of American history and blah 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 blah, and showing us what the game's going to do. And that it felt very sales pitchy to me. Which, I mean, I guess, technically that's what this is anyway. They're just pitching this game to us. But anyway.
Well, I mean, when your game comes out in a few months, and like you've got investors and shareholders and stuff, it kind of is a sales pitch, because Rockstar keeps things very close to the chest, and when they come out and show something, it's legitimate.
Right.
Like they're very professional about it.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle. So
it was. But anyway, you need to go watch it. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. It's worth the watch. It's beautiful. I did not detect any spoilers. Steven, would you say? I didn't get it. I don't think it's not. There are no spoilers in there.
It's no more spoilery than a game trailer, like a reveal trailer would be.
Yeah, like a teaser trailer. It showed us a lot of stuff. It was basically the title of this gameplay. It was Gameplay 1 Introduction or something like that. And so it was very much just about setting the time and the place that this is going to take place in. It talked a lot about campsites, which is where the gang is going to group up. And you can apparently talk to members of the gang, and like the more you hang out with them, you can like kind of grow relationships with them, and that will lead you down certain story arcs, and you may uncover some secrets or something. You have to hunt and provide resources to the camp to keep morale up. It was very interesting going through all that. They also talked a lot about how you're going to interact with the world. And I didn't pay enough attention to like what was in the HUD, but you can apparently walk up to a situation where a dude's getting mugged, and the mugger will look up at you and be like, "What you looking at, cowboy?" or whatever. And you can either be like, "Hey man, I don't give a damn, whatever, do what you want," and you can walk on, or you can apparently respond, hey, leave that man alone or whatever, and then act on it. So you can also, they talked about, you can de-escalate situations just by talking. You can, fight your way through it. There was a lot of punching, like combat, like physical hand-to-hand combat. They showed Deadeye. They didn't talk much about it, but they showed it, and it was awesome.
Yep.
Fun interjection story. I played through Red Dead Redemption 1 without using Deadeye at all. I did not know that it was a function of the game. I don't know how I missed that. Literally, the only time I used it was at the very end, spoilers.
When you
have to. And I was like, what do I do? I don't even know what's happening right now. And so, there's no good way out of that situation, but I did not know what to do. But anyway, so they showed that off. Looks great. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot to do with the horse. Depending on how you treat the horse, it's going to grow your relationship with the horse. The better your relationship and bond with the horse is, the better it's going to handle in combat. There can be wild horses that are going to buck you around and not listen to what you're doing. There are horses that are going to have different stats, is what it seemed like. They kind of called it like, there's a horse for every deed or whatever. And so they showed, and in that they showed some horses that looked thinner and faster, and then they showed some beefier horses, and there's chariot riding and stuff. I'm trying to think of what else, Steven. Was there anything else that jumped out at you? They were very general about stuff. Like, they showed a lot, but it was very much just this is the American West and the time where modernization was coming in and outlaws were running out.
It was intentionally general.
Yeah.
Because this was kind of like them saying, hey, to all those naysayers that don't think this game's coming out, well, get ready, saddle up, partner, because it's about to...
Saddle up, partner, because we're going on a cowboy ride.
I'm really excited, though. And they did not mention Red Dead Online once.
Yes.
We know it's going to be a thing, and I think it's good that they didn't mention it once. Because you've got those people that feel like GTA was abandoned for the sake of Grand Theft Auto Online. And so this is them saying, hey... You can quell your worries. This campaign is getting the love it deserves.
Yeah, they definitely this focused on the world and what you're going to be able to, not really even what you're going to be able to do in the world, but just like this is the world. This is how you're interacting with the world.
Right.
And showed off a lot of it. The game looks freaking beautiful. At the end, they were like, "This is all captured off of in-game footage." I never know how true that is, but regardless, it all looked the same. Like it all looked beautiful.
When he was riding, and it was I think during at dawn on a hillside, that lighting was like, oh.
God, it looked beautiful. There's ridiculous. A moment where he gets thrown out of a window and he lands in mud, and as he's flying out of the window, he's not dirty. He gets in the mud. Suddenly he's covered in mud. There's a shot of it talks about hunting and providing for the camp. There's a shot where he shoots a deer, he gets the deer, he loads the deer up on the back of his horse. And I was just like, this looks so real. That is a dead deer on that horse. In real life, this
How
is
can they
actually
show that?
happening. I was just mind blown. At the very end, they talked about there's going to be another gameplay trailer. They did not specify when, I don't think. But it's going to talk about activities, missions. They showed a little bit of fishing. They showed a quick sequence where you're on a train. I don't know if it was a train robbery or what. They did show they said they were going to talk about Deadeye. So hopefully we're going to get more hardened details. But this was a very general, very safe gameplay trailer and reveal. So if you haven't watched or seen anything of that, definitely need to go check that out. So, do you have any other thoughts on Red Dead, Steven?
I'm more excited now than I ever was to get it.
I'm so excited. I mean, seriously, I already knew it was going to be in the Game of the Year conversation, but at this point, if they can only screw it up, in my opinion, from what I've seen right now, it's Game of the Year top. God of War is what's there right now for me. But I wasn't even interested in God of War until I got it in hand. Spider-Man, I think, is also going to be in that conversation, and all of those are going to be great contenders, but just holy crap, Red Dead is it looks like it's on a whole nother level. So if it plays as well as they say it's
Rockstar's award to lose at this point. They basically got it if they just deliver.
Yeah, because this is kind of a slower year. We really, in my opinion, it's God of War, Spider-Man, and this, and then I think Detroit might make it in the nominations. There may be something else that sneaks into the nominations, but though it's those three that are fighting it out, and I don't know that they would have won any other year, but this is a great year for them to be here and compete. So that'll be really exciting to see. Well, hey there, everybody. Thank you for watching this episode of ChortleCast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com, and we would love it if you would leave this video a like, share it with your friends, and maybe subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And also, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the show. If you had any continuing thoughts to add to our topics like Smash and Destiny and Red Dead Redemption 2. What do you think is going to be in the Game of the Year conversation come later this year? Tell us that in the comments. If you're an audio listener, we love you too. Thank you for listening. You're probably listening through iTunes. You can leave us a nice little review there. Just rate the podcast. Talk about it there. That really helps people find the podcast on iTunes, so we appreciate that. You can also, as I said at the top of the show, email us at chortlegames@gmail.com. Throughout the week, if you hear about a news story and you think, hey, I want to know what the Chortle Boys think about this, send it to us. Or if you have a specific question about something or about a topic that you know we are probably going to cover, feel free to hit us up there as well. And then we are on Facebook at Chortle Games, Twitter at Chortle Games, and you can tweet to us there, Facebook us there, message us, that sort of thing. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the show or what you want to do there. You're also on Discord, so you can find that in the description of this video and on this podcast description. And if that doesn't work, go to our channel and click the banner because it has a Discord link as well. So I've been told
there's an option for everybody.
There's an option for everybody out there, man. That's what we're all about, inclusion here. So yeah, that's the show for this week. Steven, thank you for being here, and your commentary is always welcome and appreciated. But this is not all we do on Chortle Games, Steven. We have 6 days a week of content. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we do live stream or Let's Plays. This Monday is going to be Overcooked 2. I am so excited about it. It's been too long. I've been waiting for 2 to come out. It came out Tuesday. I'm coming to Steven this weekend, and we are going to record a bunch of Let's Plays of it. So expect a lot of Overcooked on the channel in the next couple days.
Yes.
It's going to be great. On Tuesday, we do Team Up Tuesday. This is where we play a co-op game. Right now, we're playing Destiny, getting excited for Forsaken. Once Forsaken's here, we're probably going to continue to play Forsaken, so get excited about that. But we do that every Tuesday, live stream. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes we have special guests because Destiny allows you to have a third person in your team. So sometimes we might have some guests.
We're auditioning for the third member of our fire team, and so
we're holding tryouts next year.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Maybe we should do that. That might be fun. But anyway, we do that on Tuesdays. On Wednesday, we'll have another Let's Play for you. I believe I'm planning to do Stickbold, which is a dodgeball game. For those of you that have followed our content for a while, you know that Steven is the dodgeball king, Stickbold is what I'm doing next Wednesday. So Steven's the king of dodgeball, so he teaches me his dodgeball ways in a game, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty entertaining. I had a good time playing it. And then Thursday, Steven does a live stream series, like we mentioned at the top of the show. This past week was hopefully State of Decay. At this point, it's a joke that it's never going to come. So if you liked what he did this Thursday, let us know. Go comment back on that. But it's very possible that we're going to be switching to Phantom Doctrine. Which is an XCOM-like game. This is exciting because in XCOM, fans, subs were able to submit their name, what kind of class they wanted to be, and characteristics. And Steven was able to make people in the game based off our viewers, off of you. So if you want to be a part of that, tune in next Thursday, and I'm sure Steven will have a system for that worked out probably by then. If not, he'll work it out live, So if you want to be a part of that stream, if you want to be a part of that story, go tune in Thursdays and be a part of that. On Fridays, we'll have another live stream for you at 12 o'clock Central. Or not live stream, podcast. We'll have another podcast for you at 12 o'clock Central Time. And then on Fridays, we do 2 live streams, and on Saturdays, we do 2 live streams. This Friday, today, I'm actually going to be in town with Steven, so we're going to be live streaming. I'll go ahead and tell you the live streams are going to happen a little bit later because we've got some timing restrictions with Brody and Miles. To get them in some Let's Plays, we've got to push live streams a little bit later. So probably around 10 o'clock Central Time, maybe closer to 10:30, we will be live streaming. We're possibly going to do Overcooked, since that's a co-op, we're all together live stream. We may do some different levels or maybe do something competitive. We'll just play around, maybe an hour or so. And then we'll switch to something else. It may be a Wizard of Legends. We haven't done that in a while. That would be a good live stream. So just stay tuned for that. It'll be some couch co-op stuff on Friday. And then on Saturday, I don't think we have anything specifically planned, but probably we'll try and do some Far Cry Arcade because we haven't done that in a hot minute. We've got a lot of stuff coming in for that. And then I'm not sure what we'll do for the next stream. I usually have these planned out, but I don't know. We'll wing it there. We'll do a surprise Saturday stream, so just stay tuned for that. So anyway,
maybe it'll be State of Decay.
Maybe it'll be State of Decay. You don't know. You don't. Actually, that probably would be good if you did a solo before I got home, and then we did Far Cry after that.
End it with Far Cry.
Something like that.
I'll
Maybe
find
Chasm.
something.
Maybe Chasm would be good.
Maybe some Chasm.
Yeah. So anyway, look forward to that. Like we said, we got a lot of content. There's a lot of schedules to keep up with. But the best way to do it is to subscribe to Chortle Games on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live, so you know when we post a new Let's Play. And also another great way to keep up with this is to follow that Facebook page and to follow our Twitter, because we post when we go live and we post when new uploads are done. So, anywho, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen, for being a part. We out. It's been our pleasure to be here. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. Have you to say tomorrow.